One important difference between what you could describe as the Afrikaner approach and what many of our friends in America and Europe are used to is that we have a very strong focus on community institutions, while there's in other countries, such as the ones I mentioned, there's a much bigger hope and focus placed on the government and elections and so forth. So how would you explain then to someone who doesn't live in South Africa, who's only vaguely informed about South Africa, how would you explain to someone what the Solidarity Movement is?
Well, the future have already happened here. South Africa is a demographic democracy. People vote much more for identity than for ideology, or they don't look at performance necessarily. If you look at the outcomes of 30 years of ANC government, we are in a danger of a failed state, and that is not our opinion. Only you can see that many parts of the state have already imploded. The state can't provide dependable electricity to all. There's a crime crisis in South Africa. We have infrastructure crisis, a water crisis, education crisis, a public health crisis, so it can go on like that. And many state institutions, if not basically the most, are dysfunctional. So what we have said is that, of course, we want to make a contribution to South Africa and to the welfare of South Africa and all its people. But we do not influence government policy. Demographics in South Africa are much different than, for example, in the United States. And we will have to face the facts. And so if you are an unpopular minority, perhaps an overperforming minority, you will have to look at your, after your own interests. And that will also empower you to make a contribution to the country on the whole. But we are basically, because I said South Africa is a subcontinent, consisting of basically of many nations who was forced by British colonialism in one country, and we will have to look at the interests of our own people, because the state won't do that.
So some people have described the Solidarity Movement as a state within a state. Do you think, well, firstly, what does that mean? And secondly, also, do you think this is an accurate description, or how would you describe it then?
Yeah, it is basically, you can see that as a state within a state. If you have a situation where the institutions of the state is failing, for example, the police, the criminal justice system, we have to start neighborhood watches, and we have to look after the safety of thousands of people. So we have neighborhood watches in more than 180 towns and cities in South Africa, to name one example. If I can give another example, you have a totally different affirmative action approach in South Africa than, for example, in the United States. We have more than, like I've said, more than 100 race laws who actively discriminated against about 5% of young white people. So they do not get access to, for example, technical training. So we had to start a technical training center. Now we have the largest technical training center in the country. But now what we do, we believe in bonding and bridging. So we have bonded with our own community, we have established the center, and we did not establish that through very large contributions from big business and so on. We believe in crowdfunding. Thousands of people make small contributions, and you make big money with small money. And we have built a very expensive, the largest technical college in the country, and I believe we are up to the standards in what you get in the United States and Germany and so on. And now we try to help other cultural communities in South Africa also, and even to help state colleges who have the quality to improve the quality of their training. So it is basically bonding and bridging idea that we have got in South Africa.